Kid, 2000 now, joint custody brand, LA, California. A few projects, most importantly, Retrospect is like my new album right now I'm working on. Got some solid production, done some joints myself. Introspect, which is another like spin-off project of that, which is more about my early life and that kind of story. And Perspective, which is a beat tape. So just working on that, and I'm about to really drop the Butterfly Effect. I kind of put it out for free download some months back. So yeah, just staying busy. I have a bunch of projects in the works, just working on a bunch of stuff, gathering beats, getting video content, stacking up beats that I make myself, more shows, just kind of building the traction for the projects to be dropped to get the visibility. Yeah, just picking up projects, working with different artists, producing for different cats. So it's been cool, you know? I enjoy it. I like the diversity. I listen to a lot of stuff. I think maybe 10 years ago I probably would be a lot more closed-minded with my answer. But I think a lot of cats who take the current music personal, I think that they're looking for inspiration, where I find inspiration in myself. So when I listen to other music, it's kind of for enjoyment. You know, like I'm always inspired to make music. I'm always creative. I always want to make music, regardless of whatever I hear. So I think a lot of people, when they listen to this era, it's like, yo, like I need something that inspires me to make something tight. And I don't necessarily agree with that. I listen to Nas because it was inspiring for him to put out that project, not necessarily shaping me to want to rap. Like, you know, like I always wanted to make music before I even knew who a certain artists were, because I just had that feeling. And if anything, it was more like Stevie Wonder or Michael Jackson or Heatwave, something like that. So, you know, like as far as current hip hop, I enjoy it. I listen to anything from fucking anything. You know, I like Migos, I like 2 Chainz, I also like Joey Fats, I like Aston Matthews, I like Flatbush Zombies, I like fucking Chuck English, Isaiah Rashad, fucking Ab-Soul. Like, there's so much new music I like. Science, you know, the producer, my homie Science, and then also the MC from Brooklyn, Blue. Like, there's so many dope MCs that are just dope. Like, you know, Sir, I listen to a lot of Selection shit, Esther. I listen to so much music that I can't really give a definitive answer as far as like what I think about the state is, because it's always in an ever-evolving state. And at the same time, like, I think if you stagnate your choices as far as the relevancy of music, that's kind of where you're gonna get your disconnects at. That's where it's like, oh, well, this is only relevant because it's this era. You start thinking about like cats who are purists and only think Wu-Tang should be the status quo for hip hop. Like, it's so much more than that. Like, you know, the game is as hip hop as Jadakiss is, and Yin Yang Twins are as hip hop as the Far Side is. Because honestly, it's just interpretation when you really think about it. So, I mean, I think there's a lot more drug use. You know, as far as like more people are proud of being druggies as opposed to being hustlers off of drugs. But at the same time, you know, it's always, like I said, ever evolving. Not at all. I actually think it's very forward driven. I think that there are a lot of producers who are able to be click warriors, you know, and that's cool. Like, you know, Fruity Loops has definitely made a huge impact to production just because of accessibility and cats like Ninth Wonder being able to push it swiftly. Like, you know, there's different producers, Eloquent, that really push that, like, you know, but at the same time, I also feel like, you know, there's a lot of nostalgia. There's machines being made like Machine, you know, like, there's still cats using a 404, you know, there's still dudes that are able to kind of touch on more hardware and still give you that nostalgic feel. So I don't really think that production has ever been lacking except for the earlier stages of hip hop. Now I think it's so progressive and there's so many things that are being morphed and just kind of spliced into the sound that it's actually broadening. So you know, I dig it. I mean, that's too hard to say. Like, yo, who's your top 5 rappers? And then somebody hears my list and then they're gonna hate me because I didn't list them. You know what I mean? What I've noticed is like, if Tupac isn't in your top 5, you're automatically whack and no one wants to listen to you. You know what I mean? It's like, oh no. Or if Biggie's in your top 5, it's like, oh, you don't know hip hop. So for me, I try to. That's a loaded question, you know. But I feel like some of my favorites right now that I'm listening to probably aren't even hip hop heads. Probably listening to like a lot of Smino. I listen to like a lot of Monty Booker. I've been listening to like Mozzie from the Bay. I listen to a lot of fucking Rick Ross. I listen to a lot of Miguel. I don't know. I just like a lot of more soulful singing shit. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of like MCs. There's so many good rappers. You know what I'm saying? So it's just kind of hard to just say, hey, this is the 5 that I'm listening to, because you're always gonna come across good talented MCs that have bars and skill levels, you know? And it all differs.
Joxy haters won't put a dent in my movement. My problem to these rappers like a message to you.
Ivy League show, make sure you tune in, support. Shout out to the homie Reverb, he's doing his thing. Known this guy over 10 years, he's been hustling every day. He's also got a lot of buffer as the years have gone on, you know what I'm saying? So now he walks around like this. Before he used to walk around like that, now, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, and that's just a metaphor for what's gonna happen with the show. It's gonna grow and it's gonna just be real in a matter of no time. So shout out to Ivy League, shout out to Reverb, shout out to y'all, shout out to the listeners, supporters. Check me out as much as you can. Music everywhere, Spec Da Kid, Aspect 1, all that shit.
So I'm all about my green like a plush vegan store, and you must be ignored if you spittin' that whack shit. I don't listen to has-beens that shit quick cause they stagnant. You don't fit in my bracket like a nigga.